While many of us are dreading the freezing, cold weather winter usually brings, the season can also create some of the most beautifully surreal landscapes. Ice caves are a spectacular result of ice and snow, and sometimes volcanic activity, shaping the Earth into something almost mythical. But as they say, beauty comes at a cost. And in this case, that cost could be your life. These caves are as unpredictable as they are stunning. Some are known for sudden collapses, while others contain hidden dangers that are difficult to spot. In today's video, we'll take a look at 15 ice caves so dangerous you should never enter in order to live a little longer and see another day. Number 15. Eisriesenwelt, Austria. Some places just sound intimidating from the name alone, and Eisriesenwelt's The World of the Ice Giants doesn't disappoint. Tucked away in Austria, this is the biggest ice cave on the planet, stretching over 26 miles. Back in the day, locals thought it was the entrance to hell, which honestly says a lot about their sense of direction. It wasn't until 1879 that someone finally worked up the nerve to check it out. Turns out, no flames or demons, just a frozen wonderland that's been slowly carved by water for millions of years. It stays at a crisp 0 degrees Celsius year-round, which is great for the cave's longevity, but less great if you forget your gloves. Getting there isn't exactly a casual stroll, unless you consider a grueling hike up the Austrian Alps casual. Luckily, there's a minibus for those who don't feel like arriving drenched in sweat. Inside, visitors tackle a whopping 1,400 stairs, guided only by old-school carbide lamps, since modern lighting is a no-go to protect the cave. So yeah, it's cold, dark, and exhausting, but it's also jaw-droppingly beautiful. Number 14. Mer de Glace Ice Cave, France. France isn't just about wine, croissants, and people rolling their eyes at your pronunciation. It's also home to the Mer de Glace, aka Sea of Ice, the country's largest glacier. And tucked inside? A man-made ice cave that gets carved out every single summer because, well, glaciers don't exactly stay still. Reaching it is a bit of a process. First, there's a scenic little train ride through the Alps. Then, a cable car drops you onto the glacier itself, where you can step into a glowing blue grotto filled with ice sculptures and crystal samples from the Mont Blanc Massif. And because this cave is basically a pop-up shop for nature lovers, each version looks slightly different depending on the year's carving. Guided hikes are available for those who want to venture further and learn about mountain life and glacier shifts. But heads up, the glacier is melting at a concerning rate, so this ice cave might not be around forever. Number 13. Rhone Glacier Ice Caves, Switzerland. If ancient ice had a VIP section, the Rhone Glacier would be in it. This frozen behemoth in the Swiss Alps has been chilling for about 11,500 years, and for the last 150, humans have been carving an ice cave into it every summer. The result? A glowing blue tunnel over 300 feet long runs straight through the glacier itself. The problem? This ice giant is shrinking, fast. Scientists say it's lost massive chunks over the last century thanks to rising global temperatures. In a desperate attempt to slow down the melting, researchers have started wrapping it in giant ice blankets each summer to reflect sunlight. It's like putting a glacier under a sunshade, except nature has other plans. If you want to walk through this ancient tunnel of ice, don't wait too long. At this rate, it might not be there for the next generation. Number 12. Narusawa Ice Cave, Japan. Not all ice caves come from glaciers. Some are born out of fire. Narusawa Ice Cave, located near Mount Fuji, was formed in 864 AD, when a volcanic eruption created an underground lava tunnel. Now, instead of spewing lava, it's a frosty cave where the temperature never goes above 3 degrees Celsius, even in the middle of summer. Naturally, it became the ultimate old-school fridge before, refrigerators were invented. What makes this cave stand out, besides the whole volcanic ice cave thing, is the bizarrely massive ice pillars that form inside, some towering over 3 feet tall. They peak in April and start shrinking by summer, but thanks to the cave's cool climate, they stick around longer than you'd expect. The walkways are narrow, the ceilings are low, and there's ice everywhere. So if you're taller than average or have balance issues, good luck. But for anyone looking to escape Japan's brutal summer heat, this cave is nature's air conditioning at its finest. Number 11. Los Glaciares National Park, Argentina. Argentina's Los Glaciares National Park isn't just a frozen landscape, it's an entire icy kingdom. Spanning the Austral Andes on the border with Chile, this UNESCO-recognized wonderland holds the second-largest continental ice sheet outside of Antarctica. Basically, if Earth had an ice-themed amusement park, this would be it. One of its biggest stars? Perito Moreno Glacier. Unlike most glaciers that slowly shrink away, Perito Moreno does the opposite. It grows, cracks, and collapses in a spectacular 4-year cycle, sending massive icebergs floating off like nature's version of a dramatic mic drop. Visitors lucky enough to be there when a chunk breaks off witness one of the most awe-inspiring and slightly terrifying sights in nature. Beyond the ice caves hidden within the moving glaciers, the park offers plenty of ways to explore. Trek across frozen landscapes, camp under the stars, or ride horseback through rugged terrain. Guides even point out edible berries, so if you get lost, at least you won't starve, assuming you can tell them apart from the non-edible ones. Number 10. Dobšinska Ice Cave, Slovakia. Dobšinska Ice Cave isn't just a cave with a little frost on the walls, it's an underground ice palace. Located in Slovakia, this frozen labyrinth is packed with towering ice stalagmites, cascading frozen waterfalls, and massive icy columns that look like something straight out of a fantasy novel. Basically, if Elsa from Frozen had real estate, this would be her vacation home. First explored in 1870, the cave became one of Europe's first to get electric lighting in 1881. And because humans love to do weird things in cool places, it once hosted concerts and even summer ice skating. Nothing says concert vibes like playing the violin in a 0°C cave, right? These days, visitors can explore the halls and corridors for just €7, but only between May 15th and September 30th. After that, winter kicks in, and even this ice cave needs a break from visitors. Just make sure to bring warm layers. This place is so cold, you might start questioning your life choices the second you step inside. Number 9. Big Four. Ice Caves, Washington. The Big Four ice caves in Washington are a classic case of look but don't touch. They form every summer in the Cascade Mountains, created by warm winds and melting snow-carving tunnels through avalanche debris. The outcome? Massive, hollowed-out ice formations that are as beautiful as they are unstable. The trail to the caves is an easy, scenic walk, crossing a footbridge, passing through wetlands, and winding through open forests before revealing the caves. Sounds like a perfect hike, right? Except here's the catch. Getting inside the caves is a terrible idea. The USDA Forest Service constantly warns people to keep their distance because ice and rock falls can happen at any moment. And yet, every year, thrill seekers ignore the warnings, only to find out the hard way that nature doesn't play nice. So, while the viewing area is stunning, actually stepping into the caves is like playing a very high-stakes game of "Will this collapse today?" Spoiler alert, it often does. Number 8. Kungur Ice Cave, Russia. The Kungur Ice Cave in Russia doesn't do seasonal ice. This place is in a state of permanent winter, no matter what's happening outside. Even if it's a scorching 95 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer, step into this cave and boom, you're back in the Ice Age. Located in the Ural Mountains, Kungur Ice Cave is a sprawling labyrinth of about 50 grottos and 70 underground lakes, with breathtaking ice formations at every turn. One of the most famous sections, the Brilliant Grotto, is filled with ice crystals that shimmer under colorful lights, making the whole place feel like an underground galaxy. Then there's the Titanic Grotto, home to a massive subterranean lake. Don't worry, no icebergs here. Tourists can explore the cave year-round, but if you visit in winter, prepare to be extra cold. It's one of the few places where it's somehow colder inside than outside. And if you're into eerie legends, local myths say the cave has a few ghostly residents. Because, of course, a frozen underground maze wasn't spooky enough already. Number 7. Apostle Island's Ice Caves, Wisconsin. Normally, Lake Superior isn't the kind of place you'd want to casually walk across. But when winter gets really cold, something incredible happens. The Apostle Island's ice caves emerge. These frozen formations turn the rocky shoreline into a shimmering wonderland of icicles, frozen waterfalls, and glittering ice tunnels straight out of a fantasy novel. Here's the tricky part: getting there. The caves are only accessible when the lake's ice is thick enough to walk on, which means you'll be trekking at least 2 miles round trip over a frozen body of water. Sounds easy, but Lake Superior isn't exactly predictable. Park rangers constantly monitor ice conditions, and if they say, "Nope, not safe," you'd better believe them. If conditions are good, though, the hike is worth it. Wandering through these formations feels like stepping into another world. Just be prepared for the wind to remind you exactly how cold Wisconsin can get. Number 6. Fox Glacier, New Zealand. Fox Glacier is one of those places that makes you stop and question how nature even works. Unlike most glaciers, which slowly creep along at a glacial, pun-intended pace, Fox moves 10 times faster than usual. That's right. This icy giant is practically sprinting compared to its frozen cousins. Sitting on New Zealand's South Island, Fox Glacier is also one of the most accessible glaciers in the world, meaning it draws in tourists by the thousands. And while it might look inviting, this is not the place to wander off trail. The glacier is constantly shifting, and what was solid ice one day could be a gaping crevasse the next. That's why guides are mandatory if you want to explore it properly. Those who stick to the marked paths and the actual experts can witness towering ice caves, glowing blue crevasses, and frozen tunnels so stunning they look fake. Number 5. Mendenhall Glacier Ice Caves, Alaska. Alaska isn't exactly lacking in cool natural wonders, but the Mendenhall Glacier Ice Caves might take the crown. These glowing blue tunnels look like something straight out of a fantasy film, except they're real, and they're disappearing fast. Getting there isn't just a matter of showing up and snapping a few pictures. You'll need to kayak across a lake, then hike through some rugged terrain before even reaching the glacier itself. And once you do, there's still an ice climb to tackle before stepping inside. Not exactly an easy access tourist spot, but those who make the trek get to witness one of nature's most surreal experiences, wandering through translucent ice corridors that shimmer like something out of a dream. The sad reality? This glacier is retreating at an alarming rate. It's lost nearly 2 miles in just the last 50 years. Number 4. Bandera Volcano, Grants, New Mexico. Tucked away in the rugged landscapes of New Mexico, Bandera Volcano is home to a hidden surprise, an ice cave inside a collapsed lava tube. Over 3,000 years, this natural freezer has formed and evolved, but one thing stays constant: it never warms up. No matter how hot the desert gets, the cave maintains a steady 31 degrees Fahrenheit, making it a bizarre pocket of frozen history in the middle of a volcanic region. Reaching the cave is a breeze, with a short 1/4 mile trail leading to its icy depths. No reservations needed, just a ticket. $14 for adults, $7 for kids, and free for little ones under 5. Just don't plan a winter visit. This chilly wonder shuts down from November 1st to March 1st. Number 3. Decorah Ice Cave State Preserve, Decorah, Iowa. Iowa might not be the first place you'd expect to find an ice cave, but Decorah proves otherwise. Located at the edge of Barbara Barnhart Van Penen Memorial Park, this natural wonder holds ice from January through August. Yes, even in the peak of summer. It's open for exploration, but with a big disclaimer. Recent rock slides have closed off most of the cave, so access is limited. Hikers can still visit, but it's strictly a proceed at your own risk situation. The cave's history alone makes it worth a stop. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, adding a touch of historical significance to its already mysterious appeal. Just be sure to check conditions before heading in. Nature likes to rearrange things when you least expect it. Number 2. Ebon Ice Caves, Upper Peninsula, Michigan. In the depths of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, winter works its magic to create the Ebon Ice Caves, massive frozen formations that look like something out of a fantasy novel. Technically, they're not true caves, but towering sheets of ice formed by slow-melting snow cascading over a cliffside. Still, when you're standing inside one, surrounded by glowing walls of ice, it hardly matters what they're called. Getting there is part of the experience. A relatively easy 0.75-mile hike takes visitors through a scenic farmer's field and into the icy wonderland. The best time to visit? January through early March, when the formations are at their peak. Admission is free, but a stop at the concession stand for a hot drink and a snack is a great way to support the locals, keeping this place visitor-friendly. Number 1. Niter Ice Cave, Grace, Idaho. The Niter Ice Cave, more than just a roadside attraction, has served a variety of purposes throughout history. From providing a hiding spot for John A. Dalton and his family, to storing food and gathering ice for early settlers, and even hosting secret dances, this cave holds a fascinating past. Today, it offers families the chance to explore its icy wonders year-round. A short walk down a well-marked path leads to the entrance, where visitors can venture into the cave at their own risk. Handrails and a designated walkway make it accessible, allowing you to explore up to 1,800 feet of its interior. The cave itself stands 14 feet tall and 24 feet wide, creating an impressive underground space. Don't forget to bring a reliable light source for your adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.